My first question to you is, this raid yesterday morning, was that completely unexpected? Did it catch you by surprise?
Very little catches me by surprise. I have lots of friends, but I have security cameras set up at my house I can see for a quarter of a mile. And when federal people come in, they're not exactly low-key. There must have been about 15 cars coming down our little road, so I figured it was something like that. So then they're outside the house and they say, "Mr. Metzger, come on out." It's like, okay. So I took stuff out of my pockets and walked outside. And the fellow said, you know, we're here to do a search warrant. About 7 guys with machine guns and all black came rushing by me. Doot, 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 doot. I stood there and I started laughing. I said, whoa, man. I mean, you know, machine guns in my house, you know. Anyhow, by the time they got done, there must have been 20 people in that house. It's never had that many people.
Do you have any idea what they were looking for?
Yeah, they're always looking. I have been through this before. What they're looking for is something to connect you to something else that they're pretty sure you didn't do, but they want to look over stuff and see whether you're connected. So allegedly there was a crime committed down in Arizona way back in 2004. And they picked up a couple of guys I know over in Illinois. Friends, we've been friends for years, so I don't know. I hope they weren't into anything, because I always tell people, you got to stay clean. These guys were polite. They didn't tear up the house. I got to get my computers back. They took my computers. That shuts me down a little bit, but I'll be back in business tomorrow.
Is that the only thing that they took, your computer?
Oh, yeah, they took some CDs and some tapes and address books. Now I got, you know, it's hard to call somebody because I don't have their phone number.
So it didn't catch you by surprise, but did you feel like it was an invasion of privacy at all?
Well, of course, but when 25 guys with machine guns come in, what are you going to do? You're not going to shoot it out.
Do you feel targeted then because of your controversial views, is what you're saying?
No, I may be targeted. I don't think it's a 24-hour day target. I don't feel like I'm followed around. I'm not particularly paranoid. I'm just careful and stay out of criminal activity. But I'm a radical. I say a lot of radical things, but that's still legal in this country.
So you're saying you think this is related to possible crime in Arizona?
I know it is, because allegedly one of the fellows that's been arrested on or about the time this happened called about 4 people around the country. Now they're trying to find out whether he told them anything, and so they're all being subpoenaed down to a grand jury in Arizona this summer. They didn't give me a subpoena because I know these guys very well that were arrested, and we've been friends for years. So they probably really want to look over my stuff and see whether we were conspiring.
You weren't arrested yesterday. Are you thinking that they're going to come after you, that you might be next as far as being arrested?
Well, it's possible, but I don't expect it because they've got nothing on me. I was in California at the time, and I don't have anybody I can boss around and tell them to go do something. That's the hardest thing in the world. Nobody takes orders. Today, nobody takes orders. Not even your wife.
Well, my last question for you, Tom, is there was maybe some speculation that this could be in connection with James VanBraun and his shooting at the Holocaust Museum. I know you've been reported as praising what he did that day and agreeing with what happened. Do you want to speak on that at all?
Well, I didn't praise significantly. I said that here was a man, 88 years old, a veteran from World War II, a guy who just kept getting more uptight with, I think, legitimate reasons, and he just finally blew his cork and did it. And had nothing to do with the black guard. He just happened to be in the way. Could have been a white guard. So there's a difference between saying I think that was a good idea to saying I feel sorry for the guy and I wish he hadn't done it, because now they're going to badger him until he's dead in the courts. You know, he'd probably been better off if he'd have died at the scene, you know.